Well, I must have another errand to Sir John Falstaff from my two mistresses. What a beast am I to slack it.
Scene 5, a room in the Garter Inn. Enter Falstaff and Bardolph. Bardolph, I say.
Yes, sir.
Go fetch me a quart of sack. Put toast in it. Have I lived to be carried in a basket like a barrow of butcher's offal, and to be thrown in the Thames? Well, if I be served such another trick, I'll have my brains taken out and buttered, and give them to a dog for a New Year's gift. The rogues slighted me into the river with as little remorse as they would have drowned a blind bitch's puppies, 15 in the litter. And you may know by my sighs that I have a kind of alacrity in sinking. The bottom were as deep as hell I should down. I had been drowned, but that the shore was shelvy and shallow. The death that I abhor, for the water swells a man. And what a thing I should have been when I had been swelled. I should have been a mountain of mummy.
Here's Mistress Quickly, sir, to speak to you.
Let me pour in some sack to the Thames water. My belly's as cold as if I had swallowed snowballs for pills to cool the rains. Call her in.
Oh, come in, woman.
By your leave, I cry you mercy. Give your worship good morrow.
Take away these chalices and go brew me a pottle of sack finely.
With eggs, sir.
Simple of itself. I'll no pullet sperm in my brewage. Now.
Marry, sir, I come to your worship for Mistress Ford.
Mistress Ford! I've had Ford enough. I was thrown into the Ford. I have my belly full of Ford.
Alas the day, good heart, that was not her fault. She does so take on with her men, they mistook their erection.
So did I mine, to build upon a foolish woman's promise.
Well, she laments, sir, for it. It would yearn your heart to see it. Her husband goes this morning a-birding. She desires you once more to come to her between 8 and 9. I must carry her word quickly. She'll make you amends, I warrant you.
Well, I will visit her. Tell her so, and bid her think what a man is. Let her consider his frailty, and then judge of my merit.
I will tell her.
Do so. Between 9 and 10, sayest thou?
8 and 9, sir.
Well, begone. I will not miss her.
Peace be with you, sir.
I marvel I hear not of Master Brooke. He sent me word to stay within. I like his money well. Oh, here he comes.
Bless you, sir.
Now, Master Brooke, you come to know what hath passed between me and Ford's wife?
Oh, that indeed, Sir John, is my business.
Master Brooke, I will not lie to you. I was at her house the hour she appointed me.
Oh, and sped you, sir?
Very ill-favoredly, Master Brooke.
Well, how so, sir? Did she change her determination?
No, Master Brooke, but the Peking cornuto, her husband, Master Brooke, dwelling in a continual alarm of jealousy, comes me in the instant of our encounter, after we had embraced, kissed, protested, and, as it were, spoke the prologue of our comedy, and at his heels, a rabble of his companions, thither provoked and instigated by his distemper, and, forsooth, to search his house for his wife's love.
What? While you were there?
While I was there.
And did he search for you and could not find you?
You shall hear. As good luck would have it, comes in one Mistress Page, gives intelligence of Ford's approach, and in her invention and Ford's wife's distraction, they conveyed me into a buck-basket.
A buck-basket?
By the Lord, a buck-basket. Rammed me in with foul shirts and smocks, socks, foul stockings, greasy napkins. That Master Brooke, there was the rankest compound of villainous smell that ever offended nostril.
Oh, I know how long delayed you there.
You shall hear, Master Brooke, what I have suffered to bring this woman to evil for your good. Being thus crammed in the basket, a couple of Ford's knaves, his hinds, were called forth by their mistress to carry me in the name of foul clothes to Datchet Lane. They took me on their shoulders, met the jealous knave their master in the door, who asked them once or twice what they had in the basket. They quaked for fear lest the lunatic knave would have searched it, but fate, ordaining he should be a cuckold, held his hand. Well, on went he for a search, and away went I for foul clothes. But mark the sequel, Master Brooke. I suffered the pangs of 3 several deaths. First, an intolerable fright, to be detected with a jealous rotten bellwether. Next, to be compassed like a good bilbo in the circumference of a peck, hilt to point, head to heel, and then to be stopped in like a strong distillation with stinking clothes that fretted in their own grease. Think of that! A man of my kidney, think of that! That am as subject to heat as butter, a man of continual dissolution and thaw. It was a miracle to escape suffocation. And in the height of this bath, when I was more than half stewed in grease, like a Dutch dish, to be thrown into the Thames, and cooled, glowing hot in that surge, like a horseshoe. Think of that. Hissing hot. Think of that, Master Brooke.
Well, in good sadness, I'm sorry that for my sake you have suffered all this. But my suit then is desperate. You'll undertake her no more.
Master Brooke, I will be thrown into Etna, as I have been into Thames, ere I will leave her thus. Her husband is this morning gone a-birding. I have received from her another embassy of meeting. 'Twixt 8 and 9 is the hour, Master Brooke.
Or is past 8 already?
Is it? I will then address me to my appointment. Come to me at your convenient leisure, and you shall know how I speed, and the conclusion shall be crowned with your enjoying her. Adieu, you shall have her, Master Brooke. Master Brooke, you shall cuckold Ford.
Is this a vision? Is this a dream? Do I sleep? Master Ford, awake. Awake, Master Ford. There's a hole made in your best coat, Master Ford. 'Tis to be married, and 'tis to have linen and book baskets. Well, I will proclaim myself what I am. I will now take the lecture. He is at my house. He cannot escape me. 'Tis impossible. He should. He cannot creep into a halfpenny purse, nor into a pepper box. But lest the devil that guides him should aid him, I will search impossible places, though when I am, I cannot afford. Yet to be what I would not shall not make me tame. If I have horns to make one mad, then the proverb will go with me. I'll be horn mad. I will cut the next scene.
Act 4, we're cutting. Scene 1. Scene 2. A room in Ford's house. Enter Falstaff and Mistress Ford. Mistress Ford, your sorrow hath eaten up my sufferance. I see you are obsequious in your love, and I profess requital to a hair's breadth, not only, Mistress Ford, in the simple office of love, but in all the accoutrement, compliment, and ceremony of it. But are you sure of your husband now?
He's a-birding, sweet Sir John.
What ho! Gossip Ford, what ho!
Step into the chamber, Sir John.
How now, sweetheart? Who's at home besides yourself?
Why, none but mine own people.
Indeed?
Well, certainly. Speak louder.
Truly, I am so glad you have nobody here.
Why?
Why, woman, your husband is in his old loons again. So he takes on yonder with my husband, so rails against all married mankind, so curses all Eve's daughters, of what complexion soever, and so buffets himself on the forehead, crying, peer out, that any madness I ever yet beheld seemed but tameness, civility, and patience to this his distemper he is in now. I am glad he is the fat knight is not here.
Why? Does he talk of him?
Of none but him, and swears he was carried out the last time we searched for him in a basket. Protests to my husband he is now here, and he hath drawn him and the rest of their company from the sport to make another experiment of his suspicion. But I'm glad the knight is not here. Now he shall see his own foolery.
How near is he, Mistress Page?
Hard by, at street end, and he will be here anon.
I am undone. The knight is here.
Why, then you are utterly shamed, and he's but a dead man. What a woman are you! Away with him, away with him. Better shame than murder.
Which way should he go? How should I bestow him? Shall I put him into the basket again?
I think that was supposed to be Mistress Ford. Actually, it didn't make sense that it would be Ford.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. False alarm.
Okay.
Error on the bill. And no, I'll come no more in the basket. May I not go out ere he come?
Alas, 3 of Master Ford's brothers watch the door with pistols, that none should issue out. Otherwise you might slip away ere he came. But what makes you here?
What shall I do? I'll creep up into the chimney.
There they always used to discharge their birding pieces. Creep into the kiln hole.
Where is it?
He will seek there on my word. Neither press, coffer, chest, trunk, well vault, but he hath an abstract for the remembrance of such places, and goes to them by his note. There is no hiding you in the house.
I'll go out then.
If you go out in your semblance, you die, Sir John. Unless you go out in disguised.
How might we disguise him?
Alas the day, I know not. There is no woman's gown big enough for him. Otherwise he might put on a hat, a muffler, and a kerchief, and so escape.
Good hearts, devise something, any extremity rather than a mischief.
My maid's aunt, the fat woman of Brentford, has a gown above.
On my word, it will serve him. She's as big as he is. And there's her thrumped hat and her muffler too. Right up, Sir John.
Go, sweet Sir John. Mistress Page and I will look some linen for your head.
Quick, we'll come dress you straight. Put on the gown the while.
My husband would meet him in this shape. He cannot abide the old woman of Brentford. He swears she's a witch, forbade her my house, and hath threatened to beat her.
Heaven guide him to thy husband's cudgel, and the devil guide his cudgel afterwards.
But is my husband coming?
Ah, in good sadness is he, and talks of the basket too, howsoever he hath had intelligence.
We'll try that. For I'll appoint my men to carry the basket again, to meet him at the door with it as they did last time.
Nay, but he'll be here presently. Let's go dress him like the witch of Brentford.
I'll first direct my men what they shall do with the basket. Go up, I'll bring linen for him straight.
Hang him, dishonest varlet. We cannot misuse him enough. We'll leave a proof by that which we will do. Wives may be merry, and yet honest too. We do not act that often jest and laugh. 'Tis old but true. Still swine eat all the draught.
Go, sirs, take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master's hard at door. If he bids you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch.
Come, take it up. You haven't ended up in the whole night again?
I hope not, if I had leaf bear so much lead.
Good. Aye. But if it proves me, Master Page, you have any way to unfool me again? Set down the basket. Villain! Somebody call my wife. Youth in a basket? Oh, you panderly rascals. There's a knot, a ging, a pack, a conspiracy against me. Now shall the devil be shamed. What? Wife, I say! Come forth. Behold what honest clothes you and set forth to bleaching.
Why, this passes. Master Ford, you are not to go loose any longer. You must be pinioned. Why, this is lunatics. This mad dog is mad dog.
Indeed, Master Ford, this is not well indeed.
So say I too, sir. Come hither, Mrs. Ford. Mrs. Ford, the honest woman, the modest wife, the virtuous creature that hath the jealous fool to her husband. I suspect without cause, mistress, do I?
Heaven be my witness, you do. If you suspect me in any dishonesty.
Ah, well said, brazen face. Hold it out. Come forth, sirrah.
This passes.
Are you not ashamed? Let the clothes alone.
I shall find you a nun.
'Tis unreasonable. You will take up your wife's clothes. Come away.
Well, empty the basket, I say.
Why, man? Why?
Master Page, as I am a man, there was one conveyed out of my house yesterday in this basket. Why may not he be here again in my house? I am sure he is my intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable. Pluck me out all the linen.
If you find a man there, he shall die a flea's death.
No, he's no man.
He is no man.
By
Oh,
my
sorry.
fidelity, this is not well, Master Ford. This wrongs you.
Master Ford, you must pray and not follow the imaginations of your own heart. Jealousy's is.
Well, he's not here I seek for.
No, nowhere else in your brain.
Help me search the house for this one last time. If I find not what I seek, show no color for my extremity. Let me be forever be your table sport. Let them say of me, as jealous as Ford, chap searched a hollow walnut for his wife's linen. Satisfy me once more search with me.
What ho, Mistress Page! Come you and the old woman down. My husband will come into the chamber.
Old woman? What old woman's that?
Nay, it is my maid's aunt of Brentford.
Ah, witch of witch, queen of cousining queen. Come, have I not forbid her my house? She comes of errands. Does she? We are simpler men. We do not know what's brought to pass under the profession of fortune telling. She works by charms, by spells, by the figure, by some daubery is this. Beyond our element, we know nothing. Come down, you witch, you hag, you come down, I say.
Hey, good sweet husband. Good gentleman, let him not strike the old woman.
Come, Mother Pratt, come, give me your hand.
Oh, Pratt, her. Out of my door, you witch, you hag, you baggage, you polecat. You run in out, or I'll conjure you. I'll fortune tell you.
Are you not ashamed? I think you have killed a poor woman.
Nay, he will do it. 'Tis a goodly credit for you.
Hang her, witch.
By the yea or no, I think the woman is a witch indeed. And I like not when a woman has a great beard. I spy a great beard under his muffler.
Will you follow, gentlemen? I beseech you, follow. But the issue of my jealousy, if I cry out thus upon no trail, never trust me when I open again.
Let's obey his humor a little further. Come, gentlemen.
Trust me, he beat him most pitifully.
Nay, by the mass, that he did not. He beat him most unpitifully, methought.
I'll have the cudgel hallowed and hung o'er the altar. It hath done meritorious service.
What think you? May we, with the warrant of womanhood and the witness of a good conscience, pursue him with any further vengeance? With any further revenge?
The spirit wantonness is sure scared out of him. If the devil have him not in fee simple, with fine recovery, he will never, I think, in the way of waste, tempt us again.
Shall we tell our husbands how we have served him?
Yes, by all means, if it be but to scrape the figures out of your husband's brains. If they can find in their hearts the poor unvirtuous fat knight shall be any further afflicted, we too will still be the ministers.
I warrant they'll have him publicly shamed. And methinks there would be no period to the jest, should not he be publicly shamed.
Come to the forge with it then, shape it. I would not have things cool.
Scene 3, a room in the Gopher Inn. Enter host and Bardolph.
Sir, Germans desire to have 3 of your horses. The Duke himself will be here tomorrow at court, and they are going to meet him.
What duke should that be that comes so secretly? I hear not of him in the court. Let me speak with the gentleman. They speak English.
Aye, I'll call them to you.
They shall have my horses, but I'll make them pay. I'll sauce them. They have had my house a week at command. I have turned away my other guests. They must come off. I'll sauce them. Come.
Scene 4, a room in Ford's house. Enter Page Ford, Mistress Page, Mistress Ford, and Sir Hugh Evans.
'Tis one of the best discretions of a woman as ever I did look upon. And did she send you both these letters at an instant?
Within a quarter of an hour.
Oh, pardon me, wife. Henceforth, do what thou wilt. I would rather suspect the sun with cold than thee with wantonness. Now doth thy honor stand in him that was of late heretic, as firm as faith.
'Tis well, no more. Be not as extreme in submission as in offense, but let our plot go forward. Let our wives yet once again to make us public sport. Appoint a meeting with this old fat fellow, where he may take him and disgrace him for it.
There is no better way than that they spoke of.
How? To send him word that they meet him in the park at midnight? Fie, he'll never come. You say he has been thrown into the rivers and has been grievously beaten as an old woman. Methinks there should be terrors in him that he should not come. Methinks his flesh is punished. He shall have no desires. So I think too.
Devise but how you'll use him when he comes, and let us two devise to bring him thither.
There's an old tale goes that Herm, the hunter, sometime a keeper here in Windsor forest, doth all winter time at still midnight walk round about an oak with great ragged horns. And there he blasts the tree and takes the cattle, and makes milch kine yield blood, and shakes a chain in the most hideous and dreadful manner. You have heard of such a spirit, and well you know, the superstitious, idle-headed elves received and did deliver to our age this tale of Herne the hunter for a truth.
Why, yet there were not many that do fear in deep of night to walk by this Herne's oak. But what of this?
Mary, this is our device, that Falstaff at that dike shall meet with us.
Well, let it not be doubted that he'll come, and in this shape when you have brought him thither, and what shall be done with him? What's your plot?
That likewise have we thought upon. Thus, Nan Page, my daughter, and my little son, and 3 or 4 more of their growth will dress like urchins. Oafs and fairies, green and white, with rounds of waxen tapers on their heads, and rattles in their hands upon a sudden. As Falstaff, she and I are newly met. Let them from forth a saw pit rush at once, with some diffused song upon their sight. We two with great amazedness will fly. Then let them all encircle him around, and fairy-like to pinch the unclean knight, and ask him why, that hour of fairy revel, in their so sacred paths he dares to tread in shape profane.
Until he tell the truth, let the supposed fairies pinch him sound and burn him with their tapers.
The truth being known, we'd all present ourselves, dishorn the spirit, and mock him home to Windsor.
The children must be practiced well to this, or they'll never do it.
I will teach the children their behaviors, and I shall be like a jackanapes also, to burn the night with my taper.
Oh, that would be excellent. I'll go and buy them the visits.
My Nan shall be the queen of all the fairies, finely attired in a robe of white.
That silk I will go buy, and in time shall Master Slender steal my Nan away and marry her at Eton. Go send to Falstaff straight.
Nay, I'll go to him again in name of Brooke. He'll tell me all his purpose. Sure, he'll come.
Fear you not that. Go get us properties and tricking for our fairies.
Let us hear about it. It is admirable pleasures and very honest knaveries.
Go, Mistress Ford, send quickly to Sir John to know his mind. I'll to the doctor, he hath my good will, and none but he to marry with Nan Page. That slender, though well-landed, is an idiot, and he my husband best of all effects. The doctor is well-moneyed, and his friends potent at court. He, none but he shall have her, though 20,000 worthier come to crave her.
Scene 5, a room in the Garter Inn. Enter host and simple.
What wouldst thou have, or what thick skin? Speak, breathe, discuss, brief, short, quick, snap.
Well, Mary, sir,
You gotta go into
I come to speak with Sir John Falstaff from Master Slender.
There is his chamber, his house, his castle, his standing bed and trunkle bed, just painted about with the story of the prodigal, fresh and new. Go knock and call. Hell, speak like an anthropophagian unto thee. Knock, I say.
Oh, there's an old woman, that woman, gone up into his chamber. Oh, I'll be so bold to stay till she come down. I come to speak with her indeed.
Ha! A fat woman? The night may be robbed.
Huh?
I'll call. Bully knight, bully Sir John, speak from thy lungs military. Art thou there? It is thine host, thine Ephesian calls.
How now, mine host?
Here's a Bohemian Tartar, tarries the coming down of thy fat woman. Let her descend, bully, let her descend. My chambers are honorable. Fie. Privacy? Fie.
There was, mine host, an old fat woman, even now with me, but she's gone.
Pray you, sir, wasn't that the wise woman of Brentford?
Aye, Mary was it. Muscle shell, what would you with her?
Well, my master, sir, Master Slender, sent to her, seeing her go through the streets, to know, sir, whether one nymph, sir, that beguiled him of a chain, had the chain or no.
I speak with the old woman about it.
And what says she, I pray, sir?
Mary, she says that the very same man that beguiled Master Slender of his chain cozened him of it.
Oh, I could have spoken with the woman herself. I had other things to speak with her about, too, from him.
What are they? Let us know.
Aye, come quick.
Oh, I may not conceal them, sir.
Conceal them, or thou diest.
Well, sir, they were nothing but about Mistress Anne Page, to know if it was my master's fortune to have her or no.
'Tis his fortune.
What, sir?
To have her or no.
Oh?
Go say the woman told me so.
May I be so bold to say so, sir?
Aye, sir, like who more bold?
I thank your worship. I shall make my master glad with these tidings.
Thou art clerky, Sir John. Was there a wise woman with thee?
Aye, that there was, mine host. One that hath taught me more wit than ever I learned before in my life. And I paid nothing for it neither, but was paid for my learning.
Oh, sir, cottages, mere cousinage.
Where be my horses? Speak well of them, Varletto.
I think they're in the kitchen. Run away with the cottages, for as soon as I came on Eton, they threw me off from behind one of them, the slough of the mire, and set spurs on the way, like 3 German devils, 3 Dr. Faustus.
They are gone, but to meet the Duke, villain do not say they fled. Germans are honest men.
Where's mine host?
What is the matter, sir?
I have a care of your entertainments. There's a friend of mine come to town to tell me that there are 3 cousin Germans that have cozened all the horse of Redins, Maidenhead, of Colebrook, of horses, and money. I tell you, for good luck, look you are wise and full of jibes and flouting stocks, and 'tis not convenient you should be cozened. Fare you well.
Wer ist mein höchster Jardin?
Here, Master Doctor, in perplexity and doubtful dilemma.
I cannot tell you what is that, but I can tell me that you make good grand preparation for the Duke of Jean-Mamé. By my troth, there is no duke that hath the court to. No, come, I tell you for good will. Adieu.
Hue and cry, villain. Go, assist me, knight. I am undone. Fly, run, hue and cry, villain. I am undone.
Adieu.
I would all the world might be cozened, for I have been cozened and beaten too. If it should come to the ear of the court how I've been transformed, and how my transformation hath been washed and cudgeled, they would melt me out of my fat drop by drop and lick a fisherman's boot with me. I warrant they would whip me with their fine whips till I were as crestfallen as a dried pear. I never prospered since I forswore myself at Primero. If my wind were but long enough to say my prayers, I would repent. Now, whence come you?
For the two parties, forsooth.
The devil take one party and his damn the other, and they shall both be bestowed. I have suffered more for their sakes, more than the villainous inconstancy of man's disposition is able to bear.
And have not they suffered? Yes, I warrant, specially one of them, Mistress Ford, good heart, is beaten black and blue, that you cannot see a white spot about her.
What tellest thou me of black and blue? I was beaten myself into all the colours of the rainbow, and I was like to be apprehended for the witch of Brentford, but that my admirable dexterity of wit, my counterfeiting the actions of an old woman, delivered me. The knave constable had set me in the common stocks for a witch.
Sir, let me speak with you in your chamber. You shall hear things, how things go, and I warrant to your content. Here's a letter will say somewhat. Good hearts, what ado here is to bring you together. Sure, one of you does not serve heaven well, that you are so crossed.
Come up into my chamber. Scene 6, another room in the Garter Inn. Enter Fenton and host.
Master Fenton, talk not to me. My mind is heavy. I will give over all.
Yet hear me speak. Assist me in my purpose. As I am a gentleman, I'll give thee £100 in gold more than your loss.
I will hear you, Master Fenton, and I will, at the least, keep your counsel.
From time to time, I have acquainted you with the dear love that I bear to Sarah and Page, who mutually hath answered my affection so far forth as herself might be her chooser, even to my wish. I have a letter from her of such contents as you will wonder at, of mirth wherein so larded with my matter that neither the singly can be manifested without the show of both. Wherein that false that hath a great scene, the image of the jest that I'll show you here at large. Hark, my good mine host, my God, what do I have to say here? Tonight, at Hearn's Hoke, just between 12 and 1, must my sweet Nan present the fairy queen. The purpose why is here, in which disguise, with other jests for some time rank or foot, her father hath commanded her to slip away with Slender, and with him at Eton immediately to marry. She hath consented. Now, sir, her mother, even strong against that match, and firm for Dr. Caius, hath appointed that he shall likewise shuffle her away like other sports are tasking of their minds. And the deanery where a priest attends straight marry her. And to this her mother plot, she seemingly obedient, likewise hath promised to the doctor. Now thus it rests. Her father means that she should be all in white, and in that habit, when Slender sees his time, should take her by the hand and bid her go. Oh, she shall go with him, her mother hath intended, and better to denote her to the father, for they must all be masked and vizarded. But that quaint and green, she shall be loose enrobed, with ribbons pendant flurried about her head, and when the doctor spies her, his advantage right to pinch her by the hand, and to go on that token, the maid hath given consent to go with him.
Which means she is to deceive her father or mother?
Both, my good host, to go along with me. Here it rests that you will procure the vicar to stay for me at church between 12 and 1, and in the lawful name of marrying, to give our hearts united ceremony.
Well, husband, your device I'll leave to the vicar. Bring you the maid, and you shall not lack a priest.
So shall I evermore be bound to thee. Besides, I'll make a present recompense.
Act 5, Scene 1, a room in the Garter Inn. Enter Falstaff and mistress quickly. Prithee, no more prattling. Go, I'll hold. This is the 3rd time. I hope good luck lies in odd numbers. Away I go. They say there is divinity in odd numbers, either in nativity, chance, or death. Away!
I'll provide you a chain, and I'll do what I can to get you a pair of horns.
Away, I say, time wears. Hold up your head and mince. Now, Master Brooke. Master Brooke, the matter will be known tonight or never. Be you in the park about midnight at Hearn's Oak, and you shall see wonders.
Went you not to her yesterday, sir, as you told me you had appointed?
I went to her, Master Brooke, as you see, like a poor old man, but I came from her, Master Brooke, like a poor old woman. That same knave Ford, her husband, hath the finest mad devil of jealousy in him, Master Brooke, that ever governed frenzy. I will tell you, he beat me grievously in the shape of a woman, for in the shape of a man, Master Brooke, I fear not Goliath with a weaver's beam, because I know also life is a shuttle. I am in haste. Go along with me, I'll tell you all, Master Brooke. Since I plucked geese, played truant and whipped top, I knew not what 'twas to be beaten till lately. Follow me, I'll tell you strange things of this knave Ford, on whom tonight I will be revenged, and I will deliver his wife into your hand. Follow. Strange things in hand, Master Brooke. Follow. Scene 2, Windsor Park. Enter Page, Shallow and Slender.
Come, we'll couch in the castle ditch till we see the light of our fairies. Remember, son Slender, my daughter.
Oh, forsooth, I have spoke with her, and we have a nay word how to know one another. I come to her in white, and say, Mum, and she cries, Budget, and by that we know one another.
That's good too, but what needs either your mum or her budget? The white will decipher her well enough. It hath struck 10 o'clock.
The night is dark, light and spirits will become it well. Heaven prosper our sport. No man evil means evil, but the devil, and we shall know him by his horns. Let's away, follow me!
Scene 3, a street leading into the park. Enter Mistress Page, Mistress Ford, and Dr. Caius.
Master Doctor, my daughter is in green. When you see your time, take her by the hand. Away with her to the deanery and dispatch it quickly. Go before into the park. We two must go together.
I know what I have to do. Do.
Very well, sir.
Do.
My husband will not rejoice so much at the abuse of Falstaff as he will chafe at the doctor's marrying my daughter. But 'tis no matter. Better a little chiding than a great deal of heartbreak.
Where is Nan now and her troop of fairies, and the Welsh devil, Hugh?
They are all couched in a pit hard by Herney's oak, with obscured lights, which at the very instant of Falstaff's and our meeting, they will at once display to the night.
That cannot choose but amaze me.
If he be not amazed, he will be mocked. If he be amazed, he will be every way will be mocked.
We'll betray him finally.
Against such lewdsters and their lechery, those that betray them do no treachery.
The hour draws on. To the oak, to the oak.
Scene 4, Windsor Park. Enter Sir Hugh Evans, disguised with others as fairies.
Trib! Trib! Fairies, come and remember your parts. Be pulled, I pray you. Follow me into the pit. And when I give the watch-alls, do as I bid you. Come, Trib! Trib!
Scene 5, another part of the park. Enter Falstaff, disguised as Hern.
There you go.
The Windsor bell hath struck 12. The minute draws on. Now the hot-blooded gods assist me. Remember, Jove, thou wast a bull for thy Europa. Love, set on thy horns. O powerful love, that in some respects makes a beast a man, in some other a man a beast. You were also, Jupiter, a swan for the love of Leda. O omnipotent love, how near the god drew to the complexion of a goose. A fault done first in the form of a beast. O Jove, a beastly fault, and then another fault in the semblance of a fowl. I think on it, Jove. A foul fault. When gods have hot backs, what shall poor men do? For me, I am here a Windsor stag, and the fattest, I think, in the forest. Send me a cool rut time, Jove, or who can blame me to piss my tallow? Who comes here, my doe?
Sir John, art thou there, my dear? My male dear?
My doe with the black Scot? Let the sky rain potatoes, let it thunder to the tune of green sleeves. Hail kissing comfits and snow ringos, let there come a tempest of provocation, I will shelter me here.
Mistress Page is come with me, sweetheart.
Divide me like a bribed buck, each a haunch. I will keep my sides to myself, my shoulders for the fellow of this walk, and my horns I bequeath your husbands. Am I a woodsman? Speak I like Herne the hunter? Why, now is Cupid a child of conscience? He makes restitution. Am I a true spirit? Welcome!
Alas, what noise?
Heaven forgive our sins.
What should this be?
Away!
Away, away!
Yeah, I think the devil will not have me damned, lest the oil that's in me should set hell on fire. He would never else cross me thus.
Fairies, black
Fairies, black, gray, green, and white, you moonshine revelers and shade of night, you orphan heir of fixed destiny, attend your office and your quality. Crier, hobgoblin, make the fairy voice.
Elves, list your names. Silent, you airy toys. Cricket, to Windsor chimneys shall not leap, and where fires thou liest, run raked and tars and sweat. there pinched the maids as blue as bilberry. A radiant queen hates sluts and sluttery.
The fairies, he that speaks to them shall die. I'll wink and couch, no man their works must eye.
Where's Bede? Go you where find the maid that, ere she sleep, that has thrice in her prayers said, rise up the organs of her fantasy, sleep as sound as careless infancy, but those asleep and think not on their sins, pinch them arms, legs, backs and shoulders, sides and chins.
About, search Windsor Castle, elves within and out, strew good luck of on every sacred room, that is may stand till the perpetual doom, in state as wholesome as in state to spit, worthy the owner and the owner it. The several chairs of older look you scour, with juice of balm and every precious flower, each fair instrument coat and several crest, with royal blazon evermore be blessed. And nightly meadow fairies look you sing, like the garter's compass in a ring. The expressure that it bears green, let it be, more fertile, fresh than all the field to see, and honey sword quo melly pence white and emerald turfs, flowers purple, blue and white, like sapphire, pearl, and rich embroidery. Buckle below, fair knighthood bending me, fairies use flowers for their charactery. Away, disperse, but till 'tis 1 o'clock. Our dance of costume round about the oak, of whom the hunter let us not forget.
Pray you lock hand in hand yourselves in order set, and 20 glowworms shall be your lanterns, be to guide our measure round about the tree. But stay, I smell a man of Middle Earth.
Heavens, defend me from that wild fairy, lest he transform me to a piece of cheese.
Vile worm, thou wast o'erlooked even in thy birth.
With trial, fire touch me his finger, and if he be chaste, the flame will back descend, and turn him to no pain. But if he start, it is the flesh of corrupted heart.
A trial, come.
Come, will this wood take fire?
Corrupt and tainted in desire, about him fairies sing a scornful rhyme, and as you trip, still pinch him to your time. Vile and sinful fantasy, vile and lust and luxury. Lust is but a bloody fire, kindled with unchaste desire. Fattened heart whose flames aspire, as thou dost do, blow them higher and higher. Pinch him, fairies, pinch him for his villainy. Pinch him and burn him and turn him about, till candle and starlight and moonshine be out.
Nay, I do not fly. I think we have watched you now. Will none but Herney, the hunter, serve your turn?
I pray you, come, hold up the jest no higher. Now, good Sir John, how do you like Windsor wives? See you these husband? Do not these fair yokes become the forest better than the town?
So who's a cuckold now, Master Brooke, Falstaff suddenly, cuckoldy knave? Here are his horns, Master Brooke, and, Master Brooke, he hath enjoyed nothing of Ford's but his buck-basket, his cudgel, and 20 pounds of money, which must be paid to Master Brooke. His horses are arrested for it, Master Brooke.
Sir John, we have had ill luck. We I will never take you for my love again, but I will always count you my dear.
I do begin to perceive that I am made an ass.
Aye, and an ox too. Both proofs are extant.
And these are not fairies? I was 3 or 4 times and thought they were not fairies, and yet the guiltiness of my mind, the sudden surprise of my powers, drove the grossness of the foppery into a received belief, in despite of the teeth of all rhyme and reason, that they were fairies. See now how wit may be made a jackalent, when 'tis upon ill employment.
Sir John Falstaff, serve God, and leave your desires. The fairies will not pinch you.
Well said, Fairy Hugh.
And leave your jealousies too, I pray you.
I will never mistrust my wife again till thou art able to woo her in good English.
Have I laid my brain in the sun and dried it? Does it wants matter to prevent so gross o'erreaching as this? Am I ridden with a Welsh goat too? Shall I have a coxcomb of frieze? 'Tis time I were choked with a piece of toasted cheese.
Seas is not good to give butter. Your belly is all butter.
Cease and putter have I lived to stand at the taunt of one that makes fritters of English. This is enough to be the decay of lust and late walking through the Rome.
Why, Sir John, do you think, though we would have the virtue out of our hearts by the head and shoulders, and have given ourselves without scruple to hell, that ever the devil could have made you our delight?
What? A hodge pudding? A bag of flax?
A puffed man?
The old cold withered of an old intolerable entrails,
And one that is slanderous as Satan?
as poor as Job,
And as wicked as his wife?
and given to fornications and to taverns and sack and wine and metheglins and to drinklings and swearing and staring and pribbles and prabbles.
Well, I am your theme. You have the start of me. I am dejected. I am not able to answer the Welsh flannel. Ignorance itself is a plummet o'er me. Use me as you will.
Oh, marry, sir, we'll bring you to Windsor, to one Master Brooke, that you have cozened for money, to whom you should have been a pander, over and above that you have suffered. I think to repay that money will be a biting affliction.
Yet be cheerful, knight. Thou hast eaten the posset tonight at my house, where I will desire thee to laugh at my wife. And now laughs at thee. Tell her Master Slender hath married her daughter.
Doctors doubt that. If Anne Page be my daughter, she is by this Dr. Caius's wife.
But ho, Father Page.
Son, how now, son, have you dispatched?
Dispatched? I'll make the best in Gloucestershire know on it. Would I were hanged, else.
Of what, son?
I came yonder at Eton to marry Mistress Anne Page, and she's a great lubberly boy. If it had not been in the church, I would have swinged him, or he should have swinged me. If I did not think it had been Anne Page, would I never stir, and 'tis a postmaster's boy.
Upon my life, then, you took the wrong.
What need you tell me of that? I think so when I took a boy for a girl. If I'd been married to him for all he was in a woman's apparel, I would not have had him.
Why, this is your own folly. You did not I tell you how you should know my daughter by her garments?
I went to her in white and cried, Mum, and she cried, Budget, as Anne and I had appointed, and yet it was not Anne, but a postmaster's boy.
Good George, be not angry. I knew of your purpose. Turn my daughter into green. And indeed she is now with the doctor at the deanery, and there married.
Where is Mistress Page? By God, I am cozened. I have married a garçon, a boy, a paysan, by God, a boy. It is not on the page, by God, I am cousin.
Why, did you take her in green?
Aye, by God, and 'tis a boy, by God, I'll raise all Windsor. This is strange. Who has got the right hand?
My heart misgives me. Here comes Master Fenton. How now, Master Fenton?
Here comes Master Fenton.
Pardon, good father. Good my mother, pardon.
Now, mistress, how chance you went not with Master Slender?
Why, went you not with Master Doctor, maid?
You do amaze her. Hear the truth of it. You would have married her most shamefully. That was her no proportion held in love. Truth is, she and I have contracted, and now so sure that nothing can dissolve us, the offense is holy that she has committed, and this deceit loses the name of craft and of disobedience, and the unduteous title, since therein she hath evitate and shun 1,000 yearling of cursed hours, which forced marriage would have brought upon her.
Stand not amazed. Here is no remedy. In love, the heavens themselves do guide the state. Money buys lands, and wives are sold by fate.
I'm glad, though you obtained special stand to strike at me, that your arrow hath glanced.
Well, what remedy? Fenton, heaven give thee joy. What cannot be eschewed must be embraced.
When night dogs run, all sorts of deer are chased.
Well, I will muse no further. Master Fenton, heaven give you many, many merry days. Good husband, let us every one go home, and laugh the sport o'er by a country fire, Sir John and all.
Let it be so, Sir John. To Master Brooke, you shall yet hold your word, for he tonight shall lie with Mistress Ford.
Yeah. Yay!
Exeunt.
Alright, thank you. Get the heck out of here.
Lie with it, not tell a lie.
That was great.
You said it wrong. You said it wrong. Once again from the top.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This time with feeling.
Steady.
Show more emotion.
Next. Could you give me my DVD?
Hi, it was nice to see you all.
Wasn't that nice to see you again?
Have a good night.
Aloha.
John.
No, that's